Hi, good evening everyone. I think I don't need to introduce myself. I think most of them you, you know about me. So anyway, I'll introduce myself. I am Yoosuf Maktoum. I worked for Sysco Labs for 4 years. Then I left to I was transferred to the US and I was there for 1 year and I came for the vacation. Then HR team asked me to do an innovation session. That's what I'm doing. So today I'm going to talk about AI for quality engineering. So here I'm going to cover some concepts and why and what. That's all. And no coding or any. I'm not going to discuss about any technologies because I'm not an AI expert, but I'm going to talk about how we can benefit from AI. That's what I'm going to talk about. This is my agenda today. Why AI for QE and AI quality engineering platform that we are going to build at Sysco, and QE brain tree, then 2-in-1 concept. So we are going to introduce this concept 2-in-1, and also I'm going to touch lightly future of quality engineer. What's going to happen to the quality engineer or tester in the future? So do you all have any question on this agenda? I will find. Why we need AI? Any idea? Any thoughts? Taraka? Go with it. Any thoughts? Why we need AI for quality, especially for quality engineering? Yeah, I would say it's not because of the trend, because AI is buzzword now in the industry, but we need AI for QE not because of the trend. First is increase efficiency. So let me talk about this. So I guess you all are in agile teams. You all working in agile teams. Okay. So how many QEs are here? Can you all raise? Okay, most of them are QEs. Okay, so let's say out of you all, how many you all can complete testing within the sprint? I'm saying feature testing within the sprint. Raise your hand if you all can complete feature testing within the sprint. No one? Have you done never? Yeah. Then how many you all can complete test automation within the sprint? That's also depend? No? No? So here AI will be help us. So if we can use AI for test automation, so it will increase our efficiency. So QA can focus on other areas, so AI can sort it out our basic problem like test automation. Nowadays test automation is a basic thing in QA. So basic thing like test automation, test designing and all. I'll discuss in detail about this. And next is manage complexity. Do you all have any idea about this complexity? Rovini? Dhananjay, you work for that 64-bit upgrade. How it was? Was it complex or is it simple? Complex. So we all work for Sysco. So if you take Sysco has 54,000 internal employees, more than 40 software products, and they are the world leading food distributor. And they have more than hundreds of opcos and millions of end users. So IT platform or software ecosystem is very complex. If you want to do a performance testing or performance engineering, for example, Cisco Shop. If you want to do a performance engineering or performance test for Cisco Shop, how you can gather the non-functional requirement? It's a very complex, because there are in Cisco Shop only we have around more than 20 components integrated with the Cisco Shop. So how are you going to gather this non-functional requirement? So some components use Google Analytics, some components use some other tools, some are manual, then you have to work with the BT business people, so it's complex. So AI can be solved in that kind of situation. We can integrate to these analytic tools, and we can gather the information, and we can design our non-functional requirements. So that's for the managed complexity. That's the one example. And other one is enable agility. So people talks about agile, and software change a lot, features change a lot, but always testers suffer from that, because developers don't I'm talking about developers, okay, but don't misunderstand me. Develop, but next time they change IDs, they change the features because of the bugs or something. So agility is there, but we have to change our automation code, we have to test everything, we have to change our test cases, so we suffer a lot. So if we enable AI on our automation suite or our performance engineering, everything, so agility, we can support agility. Agility will be enabled on our testing suites. So do you have any question on this, any thoughts or anything? Shall I move to my next topic? So AI QE platform. So we are going to develop at Cisco, we are going to develop a AI QE platform within 3 years. This is a 3 years project. We are going to, and if you take in an industry, people talk about only automation, how we can leverage AI only for automation. But if you think QE is broader, so AI can be used for end-to-end quality engineering. So broader role, not only for the test automation. So our platform will be supported test automation, it's a basic thing now, and performance engineering. So at Cisco we suffer this, because performance engineering is a very important thing, because customer experience is very important. We can develop a software, but what end user feel, that's the important. Performance, AI can be used for performance engineering. Then test authoring, AI can be used for test authoring also. This is TDM. You all know about TDM. What is TDM? What is TDM stands for? Sorry? Yeah, test data management. Corporate companies like Cisco, that test data management is very important to them, because that millions, not billions of data there, and you have to mask the test data. Then lots of components are integrated. How we and stacks, AS400 stack there, DB2, AWS, MongoDB, lots of things. So how we are going to manage our test data, because they refresh test data regularly. If one component refresh their test data, we think only, let's say now I am working on a project, I am going to refresh my test data. I think, okay, it's only affect my project. No, it affects some other. That's happened. So test data is very important at Cisco. So we can use AI for test data management also. We are going to use that. And TEM, what is that TEM stand for? Test environment management. Yeah, this is another thing is important in corporate companies like Cisco, is test environment management, because at Cisco we are not using only AWS. We use AS400, DB2, and some internal hardware, AT&T hardware, lots. So how we are going to manage our test environment? And also, as I mentioned, around more than 40, around or more, 40 components are integrated in this test environment. How we are going to manage this environment? We get complaints every day from teams, okay? Sometimes they say that their service is down, and sometimes they complain someone else service is down because of they can't do they can't continue their work. And also we have to support offshore and on-site hours. That's very important. But thing is, if you take some legacy applications, so experts are in on-site, so there is no offshore hour support. So how we are going to solve this problem? So AI can be used for this also, because if there is no offshore support, we can use AI to support that. So we are going to implement. This will be our AI QE platform. It's a high level. We are going to support test automation, performance engineering, test authoring, TDM and TEM, test environment management and test data management. So QE brain. So you all have, most of you all have QE brain. What you all in your brain? What's in your brain? So because in AI we had to simulate your brain. What is your in brain? Only test automation? Or something else? Or tonight party? Yeah. So QE brain, first we all focus on test authoring. How we design testing, how we plan testing. So under authoring, test design and optimization scripting. AI can be used for test design and optimization. Let's say we write a regression test suite more than, I think most of our regression suites are more than 1,000 test cases. We don't have time to optimize. Because of that, it grows. So how we can optimize? So we can use AI to optimize and design, especially API test design. Why do we need to spend hours to API test design? Because, for example, it's my personal experience. Okay, we spend, I think, around 10 days to write the API test cases, but we spend 2 days to automate that test cases. That's my personal experience with my team when I was in Sysco labs here. So why do we need to spend 10 days for test design, especially for APIs? So we can use AI. So API documentation is there. We can integrate our platform to that documentation. It will retrieve and it will design our test cases. In API there are two types of test cases. One is individual test cases, feature level test cases, and we can write integrated test cases or end-to-end test cases using API. So we can cover both test design and also scripting. So I think platform team is BT Studio platform team is working on that. Even we can generate test automation scripting using AI for that particular test cases. So entire API testing can be done through AI, not UI. UI I would say around 40%, but API I would say 100% can be done by AI. And test automation again. As I mentioned, test API automation, it can be done by AI, it's 100%, and also scripting and execution and analyzing. That's a important thing. So now, let's say now we have Q Center, we have Q Lab, everything. Okay, even though we have Q Center and Q Lab, there is a manual interference. We have to go to Q Center and analyze. We have to click Jenkins or CD button to execute, and we need to change test.ng XML file or our test suite to change the regression suite, or let's say if we need to run only particular suite, still we have to change the test.ng file or something else. We have to change our test suite. So if we have AI and if developer give let's say they can say, okay, this is our impacted area, this is the impacted area you have to test. If they can give in a format via support in our platform, it will be automatically generate our test suite. There won't be any human interference. We can generate our test suite and it will be executed automatically. And even analysts, whether is it a bug or is it a data issue or is it a environment issue, it will be automatically analyzed. If it is a bug, it will be reported to any defect management tools. Then performance engineering. As I mentioned, in performance engineering, requirement gathering is very important. It's very complex. Compared like at Cisco, it's very complex. So we can use AI for requirement gathering and also test types. Let's say for some releases, we don't need to run all the test types. Performance test are lots of test types like load test, stress test, client-side profiling, endurance test. So through AI, we can decide for this particular release, we have to run only these test types, and it will be run automatically. And analysis, as I mentioned, we can use analysis and also for execution. We have already built our execution platform, so it will be integrated to our AI platform. And test environment and test data management. This is very important now. For now, test environment, we are going to introduce a first phase. We are going to introduce a manual reservation system. Then in future, it will be integrated to our AI platform. It will be automatically. Let's say if you want to book a system, so you have to say only this. I need this. This is the application I am going to use. This is my application. I need this date. Then it will be automatically detect what are the other components we have to book, we have to block for you. For initial phase, we are going to develop a system, test environment management reservation system, that you should know what are the impacted system or what are the system you want for your release. But in future, you have to just say, this is your software, this is your date. It will automatically block all other components. And also monitoring. At Cisco, monitoring is very important because there's a huge hardware involved, and there's around more than, as I mentioned, 40 teams are involved in this environment. So how we are going to monitor this and how we are going to manage these incidents. Every day offshore team reports, Sri Lanka, India, China, everyone reports issues. We can't work on today. So how we are going to manage these incidents? How we are going to, what I would say is, how we are going to assign this incident to correct teams. That's very important because some people, they don't know what's the incident, what's the issue, and which team to contact. So through AI, we are going to do that also, because teams are scattered and multiple geolocations and multiple time zones, and also TDM. So test data refresh, that's another thing we are going to do. As I mentioned, it's another thing. If one component refresh, it will be affect to another one. So it has to be coordinated effort. So it's take months to refresh entire the system. Last time it took 2 months to refresh entire test environment. So we have to do a manual testing, regression, smoke for only for this. So that's also another thing, potential thing where AI can help us. Test data refresh. Then other thing is cleanup. People run automation, performance, they fill millions of data and they don't clean up. Especially because of this AS400 system, if you put corrupted data, entire system will be down. So test cleanup will be very important. We are going to track who is going to insert, who is insert corrupted data, and who don't clean their data, and how much data they insert. Things are matter, because If you take AS400, sorry, AWS cost is nothing compared to AS400 cost. It's like huge AS400 cost, because if you fill your data, we have to increase our AWS hardware capacity. So it's like, I can't mention those numbers, but it's huge. AS400 hardware cost, especially for test environment. So we are going to specially clean up, we are going to monitor. Then data repo. So currently some people follow the correct test data management, test data practices, but some people they don't manage. So we are going to enable AI to track who don't follow test data process. So our platform will scan your test suits and will find who's the culprit. So these are some issues we are facing at Sysco. Last time I mentioned my team, performance engineering team, they had to postpone their testing for 2 weeks because another team sent a corrupted data to the system. Because of that, entire AS400 system went down for 3 days. We have to clean those data and we have to consult the AS400 teams, lots of things. So very important these days. So AI will be used for entire this QA brain, so our brain QAs. So this can be used because in industry people talk only about test automation, AI only for test automation, but there's a potential, performance engineering, test authoring, everything. Do you all have any question on this? So I'll go to my next slide. 2-in-1. What is this concept? Any idea? Functional test automation. It's a one important part. And another one is performance tests. It's another important part. But currently we use 2 different test suite or tool stack for these 2 areas. For performance functional, we use Selenium, SuiteApp, Appium for mobile, Rest Assured for Rest Assured for services. And performance testing, we use JMeter. And we maintain 2 separate code repo for these 2 things. But let's say if you can use one code to both of these, will it help you all? Will it help you all? Yes. So we are going to introduce that platform team working on that. So we are going to introduce a component or library which can support both functional and test automation, and it will enable functional automation suite to use performance test. So and it supports regression test, and it will support load test, and it will support dynamic profiling and security test, smoke test. These are test type you all know. Synthetic test, stress test. Synthetic test, do you all know about synthetic test? What is stress test? Synthetic test. Synthetic test means actual user simulation. So we have a tool, we can simulate the user behavior, and we can generate geolocation. If you want to test on different state, Florida or Idaho or something, you can simulate that. That's synthetic test. We bought a license. Currently we use license tool for that, but we are going to implement our own AI tool for that, using our SuiteApp. And also it will support web, mobile and service desktop. So this is 2-in-1. So in that way, what we expect is we are going to reduce at least 50% of performance engineering effort. So we are going to keep performance engineering scripting effort 50% down. We are going to use test automation suite, and we are going to integrate JMeter with the test automation suite. We have done a POC, and we are doing that for real project currently. If it's success, we are going to socialize that across the BT and Sysco. Yeah. My last topic for today, future of quality engineer. What's going to happen? Because AI, most of people use AI in the US and also, and people develop. If you take a QA Mentor, Infosys, they develop the tools for AI, especially for QA. So we have full stack experts, quality engineer experts. We have test automation experts here, and we have manual experts, and we have performance engineering or performance test experts. So we have all these experts. So what's going to happen if AI is going to, let's say in another 10 years, AI going to dominate in QA industry? What's going to happen? In 10 or 15 years back, test automation, because of that manual testers have gone away. Now AI, if AI comes, all these people will go away. This SDET, that's the future in testing. Software development engineering test. That's the different role QA has to play. That's a different, we have big opportunity here for testers, QAs. SDET. It's a Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Facebook, lots of giants, they use these concepts, SDET concept. They don't have QAs. They have SDET. So we can focus to this SDET. While AI can be taken care of all these full stack, service level, functional level, mobile level, all the things, and manual testing, performance testing, that can be done by AI, then we can focus on SDET. Thanks everyone for joining today. So that's all. Thank you.